I've seen all the programs, all the big major programs kind of go through that shift over the last 5 to 7 years, where it's not just maybe a landman program or an upstream oriented program, but you see some of them shifting toward finance emphasis as well. You guys are folks, having the midstream and downstream side of things, and I think that's important, right? Industry evolves. We're in a cyclical energy business, and there's peak demand at times, and then there's things change. It's just the nature of business. So it seems like the more you can prepare and the more you can expose your students to different opportunities, different paths that may allow them to get a head start in their career, all the better.
There's so many different opportunities in this industry. And what we tell students is we give them a 12 to 18 month head start. And after that, it's up to them to keep learning, to keep progressing. But we give them that foundation. And so.
Yeah. So you're, when does that start, I guess? So, you enter in your junior year, is that first kind of that junior year where you are really trying to expose them to how big the energy business is?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's with the fundamentals class, with the PLM, and beyond the classroom stuff. So we do 4 to 5 lunch and learns every semester. We'll have guest speakers come into the classes. We will try and send them out to industry events, NAPE. We did a trip recently, Nikki and I, to Houston, and we had the opportunity to visit several companies and then do a tour of the Houston Ship Channel, just exposing them to all the different, it's so big, there's so many opportunities. There's a place for everyone, most everyone in this industry. There's a few that are going to be, you're like, oh.
Say good luck,
Yeah.
But that's life, you can't, people make their own beds, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. It kind of, I guess, to that point, what makes the best students, or maybe not the best students, because being a great student's one thing. What are some of the characteristics you see in students over the years that translate to great and successful careers outside of just, brains and smarts and things like that? What do you see? Like what's really sets people apart in their careers that you look back at them as students and say, yep, these are some of the things that are consistent?
I think work ethic is always the top for me. I think our students typically come in and they're just, the cream has already risen to the top. If you're coming to energy commerce, it's going to be hard. the carrot is very big at the end of it, but you're going to have to work. So typically we don't see the 6-year college people, right? They want to get in, they want to get out, they want to be successful. And I think work ethic is a big one. And man, communication skills. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed are lacking for some of the students. And just being able to, our industry, right? If you can't talk to people, you're not going to be that successful. And so those that are quiet, you can absolutely still do well, but you still have to come out of your shell at some point. And I think that's always been big for me, because I'm a big time introvert, yet I'm teaching 60 kids, so it just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. But I've learned over the years, hey, you can talk to people, you can come out of your shell and network. And so I think work ethic and being able to network, we've had many students come through here that have been C students and gone on to have a great career because they think outside the box. Maybe they had a little too much fun, but that's also part of the industry, right? Brent,
It's part of growing up too.
So I think work ethic's always the biggest one that I come back to.